Yo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video with Jesse's Vlogs. I hope you guys are all having a great day, and thanks for joining me again. Today, I didn't have any videos planned for this week, but this is something I did want to talk about to the people that don't really know me or haven't really understood why I left Arizona. As you guys see, I do travel to Arizona sometimes, as you saw in my first, not my first vlog, but 2 vlogs ago. But anyways, it's just something that I want to share, just because it's something that's important to me and is important in this world in today's day and age. I'm joined by my dog, by the way, Nala. You guys meet Nala. Nala, come on, baby. Come here. She's my baby. This is my princess, and I just want her to be in the vlog so I can kind of explain. She's part of the whole thing. You know, I'm not me without her. So, basically, to start out about, I've always dealt with some form of issue when it came to my mental health. I mean, I'm not gonna say I always have, but I got, for those who don't know, I was hit by a car back in 2008, I believe, 2009. I was hit by a car, and I actually ended up going to the hospital and spent a week in the hospital with a skull fracture and bleeding in the brain. And that kind of did a number on me. Like, that really affected me for my long term. Not just that, I also played football, and I had like 2 concussions already at the time. And that definitely gave me a concussion because I did land on my head. But that kind of really did a number on me. That really affected how the rest of my life went after that. I mean, I dealt with depression. I felt like I don't know. It's just, it's hard to explain. But that really did a number on me from that point, and I just went through so much in my life that I'm not going to say anybody else caused that. I feel like I caused most of it. But there was a lot of issues that have arose in my life that really did an emotional number on me as well. And so, kind of led me to where I am now. So, I moved to California a year ago, in May, first week of May. And the reason I did is because of my depression and my severe depression. It's actually severe depression and my anxiety. I was stuck in a place that I wasn't happy with. I let my problems build up, and everything just got to me at one time. And I mean, from working at the place that I worked at before to going to the place afterwards. Basically, my first job in Arizona, my first real job, working at a call center. That job wasn't the best job. It was a good job for being a 20-year-old at the time, and it was cool for me. But that was such a stressful job. And leaving that, I didn't have, it wasn't Monday through Friday, but I left that job and I went to a Monday through Friday job at as a collections agent for a DME company, which is a durable medical equipment company. And so I worked at that job, but I wasn't getting it. I wasn't understanding the words and the phrases and all that stuff, and that kind of that confused the shit out of me, and it was hard on me just because I didn't quite understand it. So that was stressing me out. I was getting anxiety. I wasn't doing my job up to standards, and I was just like, man, I'm so stuck right now in life. Like, what am I doing with my life? And all these problems that I was having with my life, and then work, and just everything. I was in such a bad place. And there came a day, actually last year, where for the first time I had to call a suicide prevention line. And at first it was pretty hard to share that with my mom and my dad, just because you always hear about people calling it, and you wonder how it's gonna go. It was super hard for me to call that number, but I was in such a low place that I just felt like I couldn't handle it. And it's not because of work and whatnot. There was other stuff that was involved with everything. I just don't want to share all that stuff. But previous to that, I have attempted suicide. I have attempted to take my life, and that was the first time. And the second time was when I called. I didn't attempt, but I was thinking about it, and I just had so much running through my mind. I felt like everything that was going on, I just couldn't take it, right? And so, my supervisor actually, we were meeting at the time, and he wanted to talk about my performance and stuff. And it was at that time, that was the moment that I broke down and told him, like, hey, I don't know what's going on with me. I don't know what's going on with my life. I feel so lost. I feel like I can't keep going. And that's when he recommended all, therapy and stuff, and gave me numbers to call. He was super helpful. He was a great supervisor. I mean, he's one of the best I've had. And his name is Aaron. So Aaron, if you are watching, thank you so much. But anyway, so then after that, I told my mom and stuff, and she was super supportive. I love my mom. My mom is my rock. She's been my mom, obviously, since I was born, but she's been there through everything, and I wouldn't be where I am at today if it wasn't for my mom. And there's so much that I thank my mom for. And if you're watching this, Mom, I love you. But I knew that I had to do something about it, because I didn't want to keep feeling the way I felt. So I did. I told my dad, and I told myself what I needed to do was get away from everything I rely on, which is my family and my friends. Those are what gave me my true happiness, and of course my baby Nala. But that's what gave me all my happiness. That's what I relied on to be happy and keep going every single day. And I knew that if I took that away from the equation, I'd have to figure out a new way to be happy, and I had to rely on myself. So I talked to my dad about it. My dad's super supportive. Dad, I love you if you're watching this as well, and thank you for everything. So I told him about it. I told him I think I just need to get away for a little bit, and he's like, yeah, no, of course, come to California. You have a job. We have everything ready for you if you want to come. And so I said, okay. So I did that. My stepmom picked me up. She's super nice. Thank you, Edith, for picking me up. That was super nice of you, and I appreciate it. So she came and picked me up, put me and my dog in the truck, and put my stuff in my room in the truck, and came to California. And the first week that I was here, I actually asked my dad if I can just take a week off before I start work. That way I can kind of just gather myself and explore and kind of learn the area I was living in. He said, yeah, that's fine. So I did that. I had some money saved up before I came out here, and my buddy Sanchez took me out to a baseball game in San Diego, and I thought that was awesome. It was such a fun experience. My first time in San Diego at Petco Park to watch the Padres play, and I'm gonna thank you too, Manny, for taking me. That was fun. That was awesome. And a couple other days I just went with my grandma. My grandma lives like half an hour away from me, so that's pretty cool too. And I visited her for a couple days, and I just drove around and got to see the area I was living in, and started a new job. My first warehouse job. I've been there for a year now, and I love it. It's cool to not be behind a desk all day. Being behind a desk all day is just rough. You want to get up and stretch your legs, but you can't because you have to stay at your desk and take calls or work on a computer. So this is my first job being up and mobile. And actually, since I started this job, I lost like 40 pounds. I was super chubby. You guys look at my first videos, like even since then I've lost weight, and I want to keep losing weight. But that's a whole separate conversation. But I moved down here, and I just figured, like, okay, I need to really work towards helping my depression. I don't think you can cure depression, but I think you can try helping it. And so that's what I did. So I moved down here, and I worked my first job, in a warehouse, and it's been super fun. It's been a lot of stress, but it's helped me cope with my anxiety and my stressful times and my depression, actually, because the more I put myself in these situations, the more I tell myself, hey, this is a temporary feeling. Like feeling anxiety, feeling stress, feeling anger, they're all temporary feelings that they're not going to stick with you forever. And so I kept telling myself that, and that actually helped me build off of my anxiety, and I started feeling better about that. And I took myself away from the people that mattered most to me, which are my family, my friends. And I'm still with family, obviously, but it's the people I got so used to being around. So I finally got away from that, and I put myself in a situation to where I was by myself as much as possible. And so basically, now that I'm away from my family, I took them out, and it was just me relying on myself. But I still had Nala, and Nala, I love her to death. I would die for my dog. But she was still like one of my biggest support systems that I had. Like, I come home every day, and there's never a day she is not happy to see me, and I love that so much. And You know, and I was like, you know, that helps me so much, but I'm still relying on something that's not just myself. So I took her back to Arizona for a couple months, about 3 months. And I also took that time to myself to just, you know, learn to be alone. And I did that. And it actually helped out too. You know, I knew that she was still there. I kept her collar with me because I just, you know, I kept it on my bedside, and I knew that I still have my little baby. And also there's this wristband my mom gave me that that I wear every single day, and that helps me get through the tough times. But you know, you're not always gonna have your friends. You're not always gonna have your family. You're never always gonna have your mom, your dad. So I didn't think about all this stuff before. I was just so caught up in myself and feeling bad for myself, feeling sorry for myself, and forgetting that, you know, I had this stuff. I had them. I had everything all around me, and that's what I got so used to. And I took all that out of the equation, and then I learned to rely on myself, and that helped so much. You know, my depression actually, I wouldn't consider it so severe anymore because I stopped feeling bad for myself. I stopped relying on the stuff that I needed before. I realized that the only person that can truly make yourself happy is yourself. You know, at the end of the day, when you lose your girlfriend, when you lose your friends, when you lose your family, it's up to your own self to make yourself happy. And I don't mean that in a way to where you need to be an ass to everybody else, but I mean that in a way to where, like, you have to rely on yourself, because at the end of the day, when no one else is there, it's just you. And so I realized that, and you know, I've built upon that, and I'm getting happy again. I'm getting to the point where I'm not feeling sad, depressed, because I know no matter what, eventually my days on this earth will be over, and I'd hate to look back on that and see how sad I was with life, and you know, thinking that I'm always going to be sad, because I'm not. I'm not. And that's what I want everybody else that deals with depression to understand too, is that you're not by yourself, and these feelings that you have are just temporary. You know, you're not by yourself. There's other people like me. Like, I have friends that are in the same position that deal with the same thing, and you know, to take your life or to hurt yourself over a feeling that will probably be gone in a couple hours or a couple days, it's not worth it. Temporary solution isn't worth a permanent problem. A permanent problem isn't worth temporary. A permanent solution isn't worth a temporary problem, and it's not even a solution. You know, taking your life is not going to help anybody. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help it's not going to help your family. It's not going to help your friends. It's going to put that burden, you know, on everybody else, thinking, why couldn't I help him more? And that's why I'm making this video. I want everybody that deals with the same exact issues that we all have, that I have, depression, anger, anxiety, you know. I was bullied in high school too, or in junior high too. I know what it feels like to be bullied and go home and not want to go to school. But it's not worth going and taking somebody else's life because you feel that way. It's not worth taking your own life because you feel that way. What it's worth is being bigger than a bully, being bigger than the problems that you have in your life, and overcoming it. That gives so much satisfaction to myself. So I'm only speaking for myself, and that might be different for others. But it gives me so much satisfaction knowing that I can overcome problems that I'm dealing with and make the best of it. You know, life is too short. Life isn't. Don't go living your life sad, upset, mad, because you're gonna look back on your life. You're gonna wonder, why was I upset this whole time? I look back and my life is nothing but a sad mess, and I don't want anybody feeling like that. I think we all deserve to live a happy life, and we all deserve to live our lives the way we want to. And I think that, you know, the universe just works in mysterious ways, and there's always going to be a way that the universe will work in your favor. Don't ever expect anything out of life. Don't ever worry about others. Don't feel sorry for yourself. You know, because if you think about it, there's always a person in a way worse situation than you that is dealing with life, that is just begging to live an extra day, an extra year, you know. We just got to remember that there's always somebody else that's in a worse situation. Always be grateful for what you have, because you never know when you're going to lose it. So that's basically it. That's why I left Arizona. That's why I came here, and that's my current story. I am only 24 chapters into my life story, and it's not over yet. And I hope in a couple years, I'm exactly where I want to be. You know, it's not over yet, and I can't wait to see what life has in store for me. You know, for me and my family, my friends. But that's really it. Let me see. If you guys are ever feeling like you have any problems, like you feel like you're alone, like you feel like you have nobody to go to, you have somebody to go to. And if you guys feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, please call the National Suicide Prevention Line. You're gonna feel a certain way when you first call. You're gonna feel, I don't know. I felt weird, and I was, but I knew I needed help. I knew I did, and so that's why I called. Don't ever feel ashamed for calling, ever. You're not. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel bad. Don't feel any type of negativity towards calling a national a suicide prevention line. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you guys don't know what the National Suicide Prevention Hotline number is, it's 1-800-273-8255, and they're available 24 hours a day. So if it's the morning, the afternoon, night, middle of the night that you're feeling like you want to take your life, one, don't, please, and second, call that number. And again, that number is 1-800-273-8255. I'm going to keep it linked right. I'm not going to keep it linked, but I'm going to have it linked, saying right here that the number is. And I'm going to link that number. You know, it's super important to me, because, you know, I know what it's like to go through that, but it's important that anybody feeling that way gets help. And, you know, whether it's our youth, whether it's anybody, you can be any age and still feel sad or depressed. You know, it's for different reasons, but we all have our reasons, and it's still something that needs to get treated, you know. So, young, old, white, black, brown, doesn't matter your color, your race, your ethnicity, nothing. If you feel sad or depressed, please talk to somebody. And if you know anybody else that's feeling sad or depressed, ask them how they're doing. Ask them how their day's going. You know, all it takes is one person to ask how you're doing, and that's enough. That's enough to, you know, make you remember that you're not alone in this world. You're not alone in this life, and there's somebody out there watching over you. So, that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I will see you next time on Jesse's Vlogs. Take care. Want to say any last words, Momois? No? Tired? Want to say anything to the camera? No? Okay. There it is. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.